Nice. Nice. Oh, nice. Oh, pistol. Oh my god. What is he doing? Oh my god. My god. Nice and cold.
Oh boy, and by hook or by crook, G2 manages to steal away Abyss, which, by the way, is a sentence I did not think I was going to be saying, given that that was a permaban for T1 throughout the entire event. But by the way, you probably are noticing that we actually added a fourth person to the desk. If you're a fan of Talon, which I know there are many of you, you might know him. It's Cruz joining us here on the desk. Cruz, pleasure to have you here, my friend. How's the event been for you so far, man?
It's amazing. I love the crowd. I think everybody is very hyped with the event, and I love to see everyone here happy that we have an event in Southeast Asia and especially in Thailand, so very grateful.
Yeah, it must be nice to have an event at home so you can just go back to your bed. Exactly. All right, well, let's go ahead and break down what we just saw there, because I thought that we were going to be singing the praises of T1 coming into this one, Kakuka, but instead it was G2 right at the end that managed to squeak it by.
Yeah, exactly. And as we're seeing right here, the composition for T1 has some holes, right? They're not having, well, besides the double duelist that they've been leaning on a lot, that worked in the first half. Seeing Bass back on the jet, the first time that he's playing in this year, and actually the first half was all about him, all about all this explosiveness that they had.
I think the fact that G2 weren't able to shut down just basically a jet entry into the site worried me a little bit, but Buzz was frying, they were playing loose, they were playing flexibly, and T1 really gave them a lot to worry about. It required some serious clutches to get back in the game.
I feel like they had a really hard time for G2 to adjust into like how random they were. And I feel like VALORANT took a bit of time to, like, you know, figure them out, which we'll see. I think in the future as well that they're pretty prepared in a sense.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
I mean, Cruz, you were talking when the side swapped about the fact that you thought it had quite a lot of holes in the way that they were going to play on defense. I know that we pulled the pistol around, but as we were going into the pistol, you were saying this is going to be a mid-walk down. Like, that's the only thing that they can do in this situation.
Yeah, it's probably because they don't really have like a true sentinel, so they need to rely on fights basically. So that's why Breach, which is Jonah P, he was ready for it. He knew they were coming. He stunned the whole line, and then they just swung into him, and everybody's mid. The game ended at mid. So they just had a really good read.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think one of the things that stood out to me there is exactly as you pointed out, Cruz, and Kakuka, I wanted to go to you on this, was that it was that composition with the gaps. But I really do got to praise T1 for playing with the cards that they were dealt in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. Meteor had only played Reyna once a long time ago in a third-party tournament. As I'm saying, Stux playing Deco for the first time, the way that he was comboing with Iso, this did not look like something that was not prepared, that they didn't go over. So we do believe Autumn when he said, you know, we have a composition that might work very well. But in the end, I feel like especially individually, not only understanding and finding those gaps, but individually, they had to believe they could win the duels against all of that aggression.
But you know what was even more impressive throughout all of that was the fact that G2 managed to dig deep in some of these big rounds in Sideshow. We saw Giacomo pull off a play that nearly kicked me out of the damn building.
And Josh RT couldn't believe his eyes either. Jorg's in a spot here where he gets another kill that just allows him to get that gate crash back. Gets another, puts the gate crash fake onto the other side of the choke point, and just happens to have both of the players perfectly lined up to ace, to clutch, and to pull them back. Because if he doesn't win that, if Trent also doesn't win this clutch, this 1v2, I think it's curtains for G2 here. I think they're losing on their opponent's permaban, and they're boomed heading into a tournament point, essentially, for T1.
Yeah, they definitely needed that momentum to get back into the game, and they actually did it with 2 clutches in a row. I think that's why they started to play their own game now. They played slower, they played together, and then they held the flood, closed out the round. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they also are thinking of that MVP bracelet that everybody wants. And for that, they will have to win also on split because now they are on that match point. Again, this is a map for T1, we expect that double duelist to come back. But I know, Josh, you wanted to talk about G2.
Yeah, I want to take a look at G2's defense here on split and talk about how it's going to interact with T1. So it's the initiators for G2 versus T1's duelist. I'm going to use Kang as a replacement for T1's duelist here, and we're going to take a look at what they do. So instead of T1's defense, where they anchor people in these hard anchor spots behind map, instead, for G2, they're going to be running one initiator taking information and throwing salvos in the choke point, and then the other one tries to flood in. So we'll have a look at how this actually plays out in reality. Trent realizes that they're going for the A exec, throws down salvos and a stun. This classic combination of a stun down the line, salvos in the choke point, and what that does is it isolates the duelist. But remember, T1 are going to be playing double duelist. So while it's here, Kang gets very isolated, remember that you're going to have two players holding hands for T1, and that is going to make things more difficult for G2. So as they go in here, Jonah P is able to get an opening kill, Trent's able to get played in, and if we just pause here and take a look at the minimap once more, Trent has managed to get in through heaven onto rafters and has isolated all these players in the choke point. They're finding it difficult to get through because of the stun salvo. And that, again, has created a spot where Kang is alone on site, and you're going to see Jorgamo flood in through this choke point. And it's all about getting the flood in before the rest of EDG connect with Kang. But I want to reiterate again, T1 are going to be playing double duelist. And I'm sure, Cruz, that it is more difficult to stop two of these players than just the one.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the key comes down to communication. If they play together as a team and then they flood out at the same time, I think they'll be able to isolate those two and leave the three behind. And I think that's the key where if Jonah P and Trent does that, or on the opposite side, I don't remember who, but then if they do that well, I think they'll be able to close out the round, close out the half pretty well.
Well, ask and you shall receive. Double duelist is confirmed, as we knew is going to be coming. Izu is going to be rocking the Yoru with Buzz on that Reyna. But on the other side, this is it, Kakuka. I mean, big opportunity here for G2 Esports to lock it in and win this championship.
Absolutely, and as Josh is saying, they have a very good shot on the defense. Starting on this side, they can actually get a little bit more proactive if they manage to shut down Izu, who is playing brilliantly today. That is task number one. And on the defense, it's all about shutting down the operator, but they should be pretty served for that.
Jorg is going for his second trophy, already has champs looking for a Masters, and the rest have been hunting for one for so long.
Does this end here and now, or are we going to get a fifth and final map? Let's go ahead and send it back over to your casters for the call. Achilles and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much. Despite what people may believe, myself and Paper Thin, we want nothing more than a map 5. Outcome be damned. Whoever walks away with this trophy, they will have earned it. I just want to see it go the distance.
Yes, I want that map 5. I want that Pearl, but it's going to be an interesting battle here. Love the way that Sideshow is breaking down, the way that G2 plays their defense. So much of what they do is going to be reliant on those two initiators, like he was pointing out. Sometimes they combo their plays. Sometimes they'll set up for some crunches. They love to control mid. They love to explore mid. You can see that they've got 3 players leaning in that direction already. And that same double initiator setup towards A that we just saw being broken down, being set up. So for T1, it's can those duelists get that space, create that chaos, open things up for the rest of the squad.
Was looking to rush forward, but Jorgamo is having none of it. Not skipping a beat. After his performance there on Abyss, immediately finding 2 kills.
Well, that answers my question. You got both duos dead. Just right off the rip. I mean, that's the exact same pistol, though, that T1's been doing time after time. And G2 just reads right into it. Nice shot by Sylvan. Takes out Leaf. It's 1 down. Can you find any more?
Yeah. 1 more to go. Woo. Not taking any damage. Just gets himself out to safety. Fault line at the ready, but eyes over towards this B site for the moment. T1.
Good luck getting out of
quiet.
this.
Silent drop down, but
Salvos just came online.
And with that fault, Jonah P at the ready. Wall raised, swing. Trent not spotting anything now. The stun coming in. Rushes in from behind. Stacks. Will turn back. Somehow, T1 have gotten this into a 2v2. The plant coming through.
10 seconds left.
Default in the open. Sylvan still in heaven. Flush against the wall.
Stack's gonna try to help him out.
The smoke dissipating. They're gone. They've drifted across over towards screens. Stack's backing off the angle. Like ships in the night, both just narrowly missing each other. Stack's the positioning though. Slid in behind the screen. The smoke now coming through, waiting to hear the tap, waiting for the backstab. Finds the first. Cannot transfer there on to Jogamo. He finds the third, but Sylvan out from heaven. Gets T1 the win.
I thought this was curtains. You take out both duelists early on that male hit that T1 has been doing time and time again, but Stax dials up a beauty here. Gets them to work their way back through. Oh, Jog just reads that so nicely. And then they somehow escaped what I thought was a death trap there with the stun and salvos available for Trent and Jonah P. But that toxic screen still available, is able to obscure it just long enough that they're able to bypass and get onto that site. Oh boy.
Looking for a crunch, running them down, but return fire. Solid here from the side of T1. Seemingly anticipating and ready for this aggression. The bounce forward buzz going to be taken out as Jaw is able to go ahead and find that right click point blank.
Give me some of what he's having. Goodness.
Comes away with an elimination, but doesn't have the gun. Couldn't grab that Spectre fast enough. So for now, T1 avoiding economic damage, but G2 potential for them here to inflict a bit more. Down on the push. Not taking the bait. 3 players over towards this elbow side. Meteor playing point guard. Smoke comes out. Spray across. Leap able to find one. As Meteor gets eliminated. Leap looks for a little bit more, but cannot. Jaw dead at the same time. T1 start things off 2-0 here on Split.
All right, not bad. You're not going to fall to an eco again. Able to avoid that disaster this time around. This is very similar, actually, to what G2 did against EDG. After EDG had won a pistol, they set up these traps on these ecos to try to catch you by the orbs, except it was on the B side, not the A side, but very similar ideas, different location. T1 very aware of it, is able to dodge that bullet. So nicely done. Let's see if they could convert a bonus, or if G2 is going to be able to answer back. Basically, Valen all alone on this B site. Stax gonna have to be so diligent here in mid. He's just gonna disrespect his smoke. Oh, that was close.
Poison's off.
Spray not quite there. Decay on the Stax, no damage taken. Leap, whole position, able to find Buzz here on the entry. Just setting up the flash. Zizou's able to mow down 2. T1 looking to get themselves another bonus conversion.
Gun here.
Fake out to storming its way down into the site. No one going for the shot. Izu eyes back over towards Ali. Jogamo able to find one. Quick reposition into backside. As Meteor gets ready to swing around the pillar. Does so, finds one. Trent at 13 HP. Can they clutch it out? Jogamo now still alive. The Prowler, the chase, looking for it. Stax setting out the haunt. The reveal is there, but he's held it up to half. Chips away at him. And on the swing out, Jogamo stands tall. Another monstrous round from the previous champion. G2 do not allow for T1 to get the bonus converted.
It's gonna give him the dimensional drift as well.
He had it going into this round.
Jeez, man. He is just so good. Great plays here by Izu. Breaking things open and then TPing back. I thought this was gonna work well for T1. The push and pull they had around the pillar looked like it was gonna work a treat, and Stack's frustrated with just a ghost. Couldn't scoop up any guns. They were all on the floor.
Probably regretting not just going for the swing. Sends the haunt instead, gives Jogamo that opportunity.
He's got the Nightfall. Izu as well with the dimensional drift. So both Yorus could be entering another realm, and they will.
Izu on the hunt, but Shona one is that show with a classic. Izu will run him down with a shorty in hand, but Trent now forward here into the side as things start getting chaotic. Izu Sylvan will fall to the wayside. Stax frantically spamming, looking for anything. Meteor arriving here in heaven. Only able to find one. Spike is in hand. This round is getting out of hand. T1 quickly trying to reroute, but weapons now being picked up, being recovered.
If you could find the moment for the C's for Stacks, could have an opportunity to get a twofer.
Toxins going up.
Cut noise. Wall raised. Trying to wait this out. Right now, T1 playing this very wisely. 2 players nearby. Smoke cycled forward, but already past this here. Stacks and Meteor, they want to win this out. Not allow for G2 to tie it up. They're gonna have to go absolutely monstrous. Haunt not spotting. Meteor not ready. Valen picks him to pieces. The salvo's checking. Stacks now spotted. Still reading this approach here from heaven. He's just now arriving on position. Bite thrown down. The swing in, and Valen absolutely on it. 2-2. We're all tied up.
Yeah, the early brawl here for G2 works a treat. Gives them a numbers advantage. How in the world do you hit that shot, though? Outrageous how crisp the G2 players are today. When it comes to firepower, in my opinion, they're besting T1 in that department. And if you go and look at the current stat line as well, you will see that that is absolutely the case. And it's shots like that they have in their repertoire that are making it so difficult. 9 times out of 10, Buzz is onto that site, and he's making life miserable for you.
Right now, he's been completely nullified. 0-4 and 0. The Bucky back in play, a weapon that's been old reliable for him so far in the tournament, but G2 is looking like another beast.
Here.
Shorty in hand at Mail. Lead spotting one behind the box. Look at the scale forward. The C's, the nade going to be thrown in. Leave able to find one, but he and Trent both going to be taken down. Joggermo pushing forward, finds Izu. But it's a 3v3. Some weapons scooped up. Now a pivot over towards his A site. It's Jonah P. An outlaw in hand, and this is his site. How many clutches have we witnessed from this man in this position?
Cover going out.
Now the 2 players stuck in place. Valen, wise to it, reads it well. The Stacks now a 50-50 split. Spots out one, backs away, the paranoia. Valen encroaching, just looking to keep him absolutely pinned.
Just not many options for Stacks at this point. Tries to press. They could be right behind him. Tries to rotate. They could be ahead of him.
Swings out. Valen has backed away. Stacks not going to get the opportunity. Joggermo holds his ground, and G2 now hold the lead.
This is just, again, great awareness from G2, understanding the tendencies of Meteor in particular, reading that he's going to want to push through that smoke. Isn't that crazy? It is something that Meteor loves to do. Yeah, and it's Meteor's own smoke to boot.
That was cringe.
Not sure what in particular he's talking about, but either way.
I think just the whole end of it, just the kind of slow down of the inevitable.
Could very well be. Fake out. Clear. Gate crash not going to come into play. Valen paranoia at the ready. No one nearby to really reinforce this position. Joggermo, quick little peek out in towards mid. Nothing going to be spotted. Immediately starts trying to join in here. Just alongside his IGL. Paranoia going to be connecting Buzz into the back. Taken down as Valen destroys them all! 3 quick kills! Meteor on his lonesome. As everyone from G2 fired up.
They know.
Gun barrel gonna be spotted. No hope in hell. Solid shutdown, 1 casualty, but it's the hero IGL himself. And Valen, he'll take that every single day.
Throws out the paranoia, and he catches them right as the TPs are coming through. What a transfer from Valen. Like I said, they're just better right now. Gotta find ways to slow him down as T1. You're not confusing him. You're not out shooting him. You're gonna have to do something different. And you're gonna have some difficult situations coming up ahead of you. You've got the Armageddon. You're gonna be on a weaker buy. You're getting close to the showstopper. You're getting close to the Viper's Pit. But it's gonna take some real heroics. One of the players that I'm looking to step up here is Meteor. The guy who's been to 3 Masters in a row so far today is the bottom fragger for this T1 squad. He needs to step up. He needs to start kicking into gear. Because that's why you brought him here. You brought him to get you to these moments, to get you these trophies for T1. And can he find it within him to change the destiny of T1 and get through this map at the very least? So far, hasn't been the best day for him.
It's been a very different look here for T1 compared to what we witnessed from them versus EDG versus Vitality. Right now, they're just looking exhausted, defeated. The tank is empty. Time to jumpstart the car. They want a chance at winning this series if they want that map 5.
Gonna need one of those remember the Titan speeches to get everybody fired up here. It's gonna be tough. They're gonna be the ones going for stingers this time. Said, hey, these guns look pretty good. Seem to go well for our opponents. Let's see if we can give them a go. That's a lot of info.
Cleared out, gets number 1. Suppressed here for now. Buzz trying to escape, but John Trent peeked down the ramp. Trap gets sprung. Buzz, Izu, both taken out. Aftershock to further delay. Straw still here alongside Trent. Whole position to try to shut down this approach. And once again, T1 looking frazzled, looking confused, looking like they just don't know how to fight themselves, how to fight their way out of this position.
And those util combos are disgusting.
People on the corner, elbow spotted. Some shots through. Trent, Salvo's here to try to create a little bit of additional space, and Jogamo swinging back into heaven is able to find Stacks. Vent not being watched, but Leaf
30 seconds left.
rotates around up into heaven. The snake bite to slow the approach. 25 seconds now remaining. Jogamo, Trent continuing to play neck and neck alongside each other here, brothers in arms, just pushing in from behind. Swarming their way closer and closer to the plant here. Into the smoke, and the spray is good. And in the blink of an eye, the round comes to a conclusion flawlessly as G2 are up by 3.
It's 5 in a row now for G2. They are smothering T1. It's util, it's reads, it's everything, it's shooting. They are well on their way to winning this map and winning this match. Still some work to do, but every step the salvos are there. There's something to stop T1.
Books, boys. Good.
I agree.
Absolutely.
The one thing that's concerning me as well is they're not identifying that backside position on B that Valen holds all the time. I mean, he did it every single round almost the last time they played this, and he's been brutalizing them there, and they just don't seem to be aware of it. So this map seems to be the one where they're a little bit lacking on some of their reads. Looked a little okay early, but since then, they just haven't been able to find comfort. This round, they do find some space in the mid, and this is oh so important for T1 to get this win. The economy is in the gutter, whereas G2 is full buy almost with everybody.
Showstopper thrown out. Buzz, a little bit of a double pump there. Site, however, completely emptied.
This is
Meteor.
Crazy patience from Jog.
Huge walkabout footsteps going to be heard here. Meteor not going to be able to get that line of sight quite just yet. Jogamo starting to rotate as well. He starts running. Footsteps can be heard. Yep, Meteor turns back. He's able to find one. Gets the hit. The Armageddon out. Sent to try to open up the sight. Everybody forced forward. Valen wins the fight against Selvin, but Buzz able to find Leaf there in heaven. Started at the corner. Dodged by Izu, but he cannot align the shot. Valen takes him down. Finds Buzz to boot. As now he's on for the spike, and Stacks is dealt with. Meteor now arriving, finds the first. but he cannot interrupt it. He can just hold it for days. And he'll even find the 4K on the back end. G2 are beating down upon T1 at every twist and turn.
I mean, they just beat Sylvan at the punch here. Sylvan's holding that angle. Valen isn't even looking that way at first. Sylvan can't win the fight. He wide swings, takes out another.
Shout out Death Cam. Holy shit.
They're just destroying him. Every single move they make is the right one. And the Teho utility has been so brilliant to keep the players of T1 off balance as well. Trent is an absolute nightmare on that agent. And he's a huge part of why G2 is where they are. The way they have embraced this meta has gotten them here and is seemingly getting them closer and closer.
Flash forward, Meteor once again caught the shorty, finding value. Buzz once again just not given an inch, not given any opportunity to get himself back into these rounds, into this map. Paranoia sent pop flash out here from Jaw. Sylvan up over the top, able to find one, but Valen is still alive, which means that the round still very likely in the hands of G2. The site take absolutely squashed.
Do you invest in ult as T1? You've got two. Look at G2, they know.
Seems maybe a bit of a bad idea. Stax able to avoid the stun. Has the spike in hand. Going for the plant. Salvo's available here for Trent. Sent now. He slides forward. Spotting one here on the rafters, but cannot confirm the kill. G2 are indomitable. 7 rounds consecutively as they look to bring this final to a swift end here on Split.
They're frying, man. It's so hard to get through the choke points as T1. See there, the salvos available to slow you up.
Let's get it. So easy.
Yep. Certainly is looking like that, isn't it, Jog? Now you're going to be able to invest in an op as G2. Got Jogamo with it. Sends out the TP, gonna go back towards mid. Post up here. Is T1 even gonna be aware? I mean, you've had plenty of cash for it for G2 and you haven't dipped into the op until just now. Oh, Buzz.
Who's next? Dimensional Drift will scout it. It's gonna be spammed out a little bit. Smattering damage gonna be taking Izu. Spotting out just a bit more. Leading the way here, guiding Buzz. Meteor able to find one. Lead. Shooting there at the fake out. Gate crash set up. Easy to get out of this corner. They're steadily trying to creep forward here. Trying to poke and prod the swing onto the corner. Izu able to put him down. Meteor with a 3K. As T1 finally break the win streak. They get themselves a 3rd round win. If they can continue, a chance to rescue this half. Make it a 7-5.
What a tremendous use of the ultimate there. Kept the operator out of play. Meteor with a brilliant lurk. Holds right outside of the vents. Waiting for Trent to come through. Knocks him down, swings up into Mail, finds 2 more.
Breathe deep.
And that keeps T1 alive. Gives them some signs of life, some signs of hope. Jog going for a very similar play. The Viper's pit there as well. Kind of going to see if T1's going to contest it. Not something T1 actually does very often. They're not going to EDG you. Kong will just dash in there with a shorty and see what he can get done, but that's not T1's game style.
Trent just strafing into the open. Catching Meteor completely off guard. Both players get by unscathed, but spotting Meteor obviously not going to be meaning too much here. He's just been trying to lurk all over the place. Jonah P. Gonna use their wall, tucked into the corner! The push forward comes in, Sylvan Izu both gonna be left on the floor. Meteor only able to find one. Stax on the push. Backpedaling frantically. It's Meteor is able to find an opening. Leaf gonna be taken down. The pit is gone. 2v3, but immediately the dimensional drift. Brought to bear by Jogamo. Can just sprint over that snake bite and spots both players out. Drift expiring, Valen arriving! Jogamo on the peak finds Stax before the pit can bloom.
30 seconds left.
Meteor now Tucked in an alley. Away from the site. Dogamo push into the back. Some shots flying through the salvos. Meteor able to avoid them. Pushes out, finds the first. Would have to be an ace clutch. Taps it again. Finds another. Just continuing to try to beat the board. Valen swinging around the flank. And Meteor pulls off the ace clutch. T1's hero has returned.
How has he done it? When they needed him most. When they needed everyone wiped off the map. It's Meteor. Insane. The patience here to know that they're going to try to push him on that last plant. He has had a couple great reads today. It hasn't been his best, but he's had some moments. And T1 clings to life. They're over the edge, but they're not off yet. Just madness. 2 rounds in a row where Meteor is the one to get it done. To really break things open for you. They're gonna try another mid exploration here. Nothing to speak of in the way of ults, other than the omens.
Stealth run from Trent, catching a glimpse once again. Meteor noted, doesn't tell the full story of what's going on, but P still paying attention here towards the vent. A shift around from Trent as well. Seems like the read
Pistol
coming up
play.
huge. There's the salvos, buns up over the top, they both land. Dead on the floor. The drop down, the stun, Sylvan able to fight back for 1. Trent at 30. Just the fake out. You're now confirming it. TP into back of sight. Sylvan trying to get the plant down, but Jogamo still here. Push out of the wall. Meteor this time. Not going to be the hero. Not going to be the one that takes him over the line, but it might just be Sylvan. And Stacks in heaven, finding them both, looking for the kill. Cannot make it happen. Sink right into the back. The smoke now in bloom. Sylvan stagnant for the moment, repositions here behind the screen. The swing out and leaves will deny the clutch away. G2, 8-4 at the half as they look to bring this final to a conclusion.
It's a great half of timings, a great half of reads. They're so good at cutting you off before you can get your executes to go. And it's a Red Bull clutch there for Leaf. Stupendous stuff. Stupendous individual efforts on both sides, but particularly G2. This is what I was worried about in the pistol round. They somehow got through it, but this time they're not going to fumble that play. Keep T1 from coming up the ropes. Sylvan doing his damnedest. Stacks trying to help, but Leaf is so ready for that position.
They're just so smart. And as they said before, just getting the read. We'll go into the halftime and hear from another legend. It's the ultimate 6-man himself. Let's go ahead and hear from CGRS.
กลับมาอีกครั้งหนึ่งแล้วนะครับโอ้โห The fans love you, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with CGRS. Such a great representative for Thailand. I'm going to ask a question in English for all you global fans out there. First of all, I really want to know who he is supporting right now in the grand finals of Masters Bangkok. น้องกล้าครับเชียร์ใครครับ
T1 ครับผม
อ้าวเชื่อไหมว่า T1 เชื่อหรือเปล่าครับว่า T1 จะกลับมาได้หรือไม่
เชื่อครับผมอยากเจอแบบว่าอยากดู5แมปเลยครับ
He is rooting for T1 and he really wants to see map number 5 as well. And you know what? The game is really intense. I would also want to know, he has tried playing the new agent, Waylay. How is Waylay so far? อยากรู้ว่าตัวใหม่เป็นยังไงครับกล้า
โอ้ผมบอกเลยว่าน่าจะได้จับกันทุกทีมแน่นอนครับผม
Okay. ก็นะครับผม Yeah, he believes that. You know what? Every team will have a Waylay for sure. And last but not least, พูดอะไรกับแฟนๆหน่อยครับ Say something to the fans.
ก็ดีใจมากครับที่ได้เจอทุกคนนะครับแล้วก็ผมเชื่อว่าครั้งนี้ผมว่าทุกคนได้ทำเต็มที่แล้วก็ผมเชื่อว่าทุกคนจะ ไม่ใช่แค่ไทยแล้วกันผมว่าทุกคนในโลกน่าจะเห็นว่าพวกเราแบบสุดยอดมากครับขอบคุณมากครับ
And a shout out to the fans, both Thai and international, who have attended the UOB Live Stadium here in Bangkok, Thailand. The fans have been amazing, and it's such an honor for us to be hosting such an amazing crowd here to show the global fans that what esports is all about. สำหรับกล้าครับผม ตอนนี้ทีวันใกล้แล้วนะครับโอเค ถึงเวลาแล้วครับผม I'll see you back in the game right now.
Found his way into an interview, not quite onto a team here at this event at CGRS.
He tried.
He's trying to
he
do, but
sure did try his darndest.
That he did, but T1 now need to try their damnedest. 2-12-2 from Buzz. A shattering performance thus far. Needs to get into gear as they now shift over onto this defensive side of Split. G2 claiming the pistol here. Could very well be the beginning of the end.
They're just slow creeping their way through. Using a little bit of util to make sure the site's clear.
It's only Meteor here.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Rotation quick from Izu. Is able to snap over, finds one.
Oh.
Giacomo taken down, just blind spam through the smoke. Leap tucked away, Izu scaling forward, the paranoia connecting, but cannot find Trent there at backside. Still been out from heaven, however, able to find one, finds his second, and showed up. He will get taken down. And T1 get what they needed the absolute most. Another pistol win to start off this second half.
It's a lifeline. Izu there. Just a timing, maybe. Not sure if you heard a footstep, but...
How many times did we see Izu getting timings on this map, on this Yoru?
That's a good point.
Just come away with absolutely insane kills.
He is a thief. Absolutely just wild stuff there. A lot of good trades for both sides, but...
Full investment from T1.
Yeah, they gotta go big. Couple Guardians, couple Bulldogs, Spectre. No pistols for Stacks this time. Didn't like that he wasn't able to win. See what Jonah P can do with that Marshall.
Peek it. Shot not connecting. Buzz now up on top of the box. Gonna be fault line here, trying to give his life. He does so, but Giacomo getting traded out, but now Leaf far forward, catching Izu on the approach out from screens. Meteor going down another two here at main. Now Jonah P still alive. Might have just about been able to have that shot, but Stacks saves their asses here as Jonah P trying to pressure him out. Eventually finds it. T1, they will win the round, but they lose out on so much weaponry. Everything invested, and only two carried forward.
And G2 is so fast to scale into sight. Up just a little bit of contact. They just disrespect the smokes. They just push forward, and it catches Izu off guard. Not expecting Leaf to be pushed up that far forward. The fans trying to get their favorite team back into this, but that's a pretty brutal loss. And this bonus looking pretty minimal for T1 in terms of the weaponry they're going to be able to bring to bear. A couple Guardians, a shotgun, a Sheriff, and a Ghost. And now, a little bit of a slowdown here. G2 generally pretty cautious on this attacker's side. They'll flirt with a little bit of mid-pressure. They'll grab the orbs, they'll min-max, and they'll keep you guessing. They are very tricky to keep track of. And then sometimes they'll just accelerate on you. Sometimes they'll just start running hard executes that are extremely well coordinated with that initiator util. So it's something that's very tricky to deal with because they're so hard to predict, so hard to read. That's a spot.
I don't think Buzz caught a glimpse of anything there, but Leaf getting some information. Salvos now sends out poke and prod, takes some mid control. Izu
made of the rotations.
Position down, held position on B. Buzz does rotate over to heaven. Nothing going to be spotted there.
30 seconds
Stacks
left.
is heading away from the vents. Meteor alone on the site. Paranoia going to be sent. It's Buzz tagged up down to 44. TP forward, Buzz here on the corner. Stack's able to find one. Balan gonna be taking out Trent as well. Dying. The Bucky finds an immense amount of damage. Stack's looking to get himself an ace clutch.
10 seconds left.
The 4K Sylvan will take it away, but T1 will take that every damn day.
It seems like time and time again, especially on this map, Stax is good for those 3Ks, those 4Ks that keep you in the game. He's been doing it time and time again throughout Masters Bangkok, and he showed up and given T1 a bonus win and put them one round behind G2. Absolute insanity. He's a big game player from time to time, and this could be one of those moments.
Cover going out.
Stingers galore for G2. This one seems to have a bit more pace behind it. Get the spot onto Meteor. They're just gonna line up. Sylvan have to show up big. Can he match what Valen did not too long ago in a very similar position? Oh, they're backing off. Don't like what they see. And instead, they're pinging out Mail. Unsure if that's just a, hey, make sure we're watching this, or that's the way we're gonna actually try to break through.
Looks like it might just end up being a split here.
There's been zero contact on A, so T1 can definitely lean into this B hold.
Attempt at a trap here, but no one there to receive it. Izu out on the rafter. Meteor, decent line of sight here below. Just that fake out. Not being paid into credence to Trent. Gonna be taken down. Izu trying to make a quick exit here. Sylvan will find one. Joggermo getting another Meteor. However, here at backside, only gonna be good for a single kill. Buzz, however, now arriving. Looking to keep them in this. Valen tagged up by the paint shell. Down to 30 with the headshot. He's so damn snappy. Buzz has been having a rough go of it so far in this map, but he does not back down. The sole survivor, T1. 4 in a row on the half, tie things up at 8-8. And I think G2 likely calling for a timeout.
The fact that they get absolutely zero attention over towards the A side means that T1 can lean into this defense, and it's really fast rotations from Buzz and company to get there to help. Still, it's damn close. G2 is still fearsome. They play off of each other so well. The trades are so good. But T1 just a step ahead and able to maintain their wits about them. I like the pull-off. I like the rotate from G2. Again, reading the map nicely, but T1 there, able to work their magic just enough. See what the buys look like coming out of this. Plenty of money for some on T1. Stax is sitting on a hefty stack.
Yeah, quite a bit.
G2 in danger of, if they lose this one, going down to another thrifty.
And you suspect that that's going to be T1 getting up to double digits, granted. Did, for the most part, choke away the advantages that they had on Abyss, so doesn't mean that G2 would be out of it by any means. They still just don't want to give them that opportunity. So, first timeout call here for the squad. Multiple ultimates from G2, narrowly offline.
I'd like to see T1 lean into a bit more retake style here. You've got the Nightfall, you've got the Dimensional Drift, you've got some great ults to use to just kind of give up a little bit of space and see if you can catch G2 unawares. TP is going right at Meteor. He's in trouble.
And he's been caught, but he still finds the headshot. What a shutdown. Pauses, he's letting the bullets whiz by. Still scaling forward. This man, he's absolutely a lunatic. And now he'll exit. No, you stop shooting at me, now I'll run away.
Yeah, now this is the time to leave, clearly.
Spotted on the one. There at Vents, Buzz, noted. Bite over towards Stax. Bouncing back though, bit of a whip there on the molly from Leaf. Nightfall coming across, just gonna get a connection onto one. Valen falls to the fake out and Stax. Push forward, find him, that's the spike now. Drops here at the front of the site, Buzz. Peeks out into main. Seeing multiples. The swing out though, and Meteor comes up with another solid 3K. Flawless round from T1. They break down the economy from G2 once more. And now they find themselves here in the lead on a split.
This is just really solid play here. Not giving up any space. Meteor holding the line. That's massive. Stax, though, working that backside area very nicely, and then they coordinate. It's a 3-2-1. They all swing together and swat G2 away from that A site. And it's back to Stingers. Stax trying to stay focused, trying to stay dialed in. You've got the Rolling Thunder. You've got the Dimensional Drift for both Yorus. Meteor has his ult. Pacey trying to catch Meteor again.
Looking for it. Manages to drop that buzz, trying to go on the timing. Find some pressure, peeled up. I'm getting dropping Stax out into heaven, finding two. Jogamo, Leaf both gonna be taken down.
Dude, Stax is starting to answer the call. G2's been crisp, and he's starting to get snappy.
Two here in heaven, one in the garage. Dimensional Drift off the pause, gonna be coming through. Meteor stabilizing for one, tried to turn back, cannot get the kill there on a Valorant. Sylvan absolutely will. Jonah P trying to push forward, reposition. Jonah P, fast to shut it down, swings around the corner. Aftershock not gonna find anything, full flash connecting into his face, sends out one of his own, but Flash swings into it in fact, and then gets picked apart. T1 up to double digits. Not allowing for the Thrifty to come to fruition. 3 rounds now to try to take this grand final into a fifth and final map. But G2 get ready to go into another bye with 5 ults.
Everything in the kitchen sink to try to get themselves closer to T1, to try to take the championship here and now, to avoid that 5th map. So you have to imagine the momentum could be in T1 sails. Clear the haunt there. Not much info garnered here for the side of G2, but again, Meteor being tested. He stood up pretty well. He's been able to either get the kill or avoid the traps. They're gonna use that Dimensional Drift first. Try to figure out if they have a good opportunity for that Rolling Thunder. See if they commit it.
Has it at the ready. Rolling Thunder going over towards that heaven side. Now the Armageddon gonna be layered in as well. Shoving them back. The pit invested. G2, everything in the kitchen sink being thrown at this round to try to bring this back within 1. Everybody from T1 clustered up. A counter pit out from screen to try to keep them interested here, to try to draw some attention. As just the rest of the squad trying to push out through main, but Jonah P is on such a deep lurk. Paranoia holds them back at main for now. A blind on a 1, and Izu taken down by the salvos. The drop down, Jogamo hearing it, goes for the timing, swing, pushes out, finds 1. And Buzz can only get Trent. 4 players left, Stax reading the lurk well, but cannot win out the fight. Meteor will look to throw in the towel. G2, it costs them absolutely everything available, but they win out this round. They keep it damn close.
Jog will claim Meteor at the very end, but yeah, it took everything. And T1 tried to dodge that utility as best they could, but the way that G2 is able to layer those ultimates, to use the Rolling Thunder, to set up the deep Viper's Pit, to take complete control of that extra flank angle. Plus, you know you have Jonah P, who's making sure that sewers and your spawn are clear. Really, really well-crafted, well-designed execute there from G2 to give them their first attacker side win. Can they continue on? Trent even only able to afford a Guardian.
Showstopper, just a Hail Mary send there from Buzz. No real information, no real damage found. Leaks down to 78, has that regen armor. More than safe here for the moment. Paint Shell still in the back pocket. Jonah P checking in around sewers. It's Meteor now starting to go for the rotation.
God, he's got tremendous patience, but Jonah P is on Meteor duty. It is his job to make sure that those flanks are secure. Meteor can just wait this out until the execute actually starts to go through. And T1 has a complete read on this. They've got everybody surrounding this A site.
Checks around the back. The slide forward coming up.
Toxins going up.
The gate crash there. How patiently does he play it? Damn patient, in fact. Opens up here, does Meteor. He's rewarded with 2. Jogamo able to find 2 here on the side. Snaps back now, is going to be in the back line. Meteor peeks over towards main. Leaf here on the Raptor, up and over the top, finds one, looks for the transition, can't quite make it happen. Jogamo now on his lonesome. A 1v2, the instant rotate.
Can he be the hero again? He's done it so many times today already for G2. Another clutch opportunity. Plenty of time to plant.
10 seconds left.
T1 had fully committed to just locking the A site down.
Now to get the bad news. Rotate can begin. 76 here on Izu. Sylvan, full HP. 2 teleports, a smoke. They have some flashes.
Jog has no util.
Based on what he's shown, he doesn't need it oftentimes.
Yeah, no doubt. Timing.
The footsteps, and they're all lined up! Red Bull clutch! Jogamo is that guy! He is the thorn in T1's side! 10-10!
He's already got a Champions Trophy. He wants to be the second player ever to also have a Masters, to join Saucy in that elite group. And he is willing, G2 right now, tooth and nail, fighting every step of the way. And his senses are immaculate. He is reading the game at a next level.
And it's another dimensional drift. He's just building them up so damn rapidly. Tries to bait them in. Paranoia going to be sent across. Trent continuing to try to keep interest on that B site. Izu under pressure, crumbles. Jogamo with a shorty, able to find the opening kill. Takes a bit of damage. T1 about to lose this lead that they were fighting tooth and nail for. Paranoia at the ready on the corner, catching damn near everyone. Meteor gets out in front. Paint shell gonna be sent. The swing and Jonah P looking for a timing there into the smoke, gonna be good for 1. Sylvan, however, alongside Meteor, continue to break things open. Trent and Leaf, 1 in main, 1 trying to rotate desperately into heaven. The Haunt gets cleared out, positions widely confirmed. Poison dissipating, head spotted. Spike held to have. Meteor will find one, but Trent cleans up the remainders. G2 now in the lead.
Trent says, I saw what you did, Jog. I've got some too. No problem. Just hold the sprays down. There was a moment here where I thought Meteor might have been able to do this. Trying to break things open. Stax is showing quite a bit of frustration. Back-to-back clutches. Incredible the way these G2 players have stood up. It looked like maybe we were gonna get that Pearl, but then Trent and Jogamo had other ideas. And T1 has to take a timeout. They have to figure this out. They have to calm down. They have to avoid these moments where you're giving these opportunities. G2, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile every time. This is the grand finals.
3 rounds in a row for G2 to get to this position to regain the lead. And that's exactly what T1 needs. They want to avoid overtime and send us straight to Pearl. But right now, the money, not great. The coffers getting drained dry. These rounds have been scrappy. They've been back and forth. They've been nail biters in some of them. T1 just have not been able to bank up the cash. They also have not been able to find the impact that we're used to seeing from them at this tournament when it comes down to thrifty plays.
You have a judge for Buzz there in Vents, as well as Sylvan over on the other side towards B.
Fake out there against the wall. Jogamo sticking around. Gate crashes, a crossover towards this B site. Everyone from G2 getting ready to storm in. Sylvan, his own judge here in hand, starting to back away from the garage.
Cover going out.
Stealth drone looking for the pop.
Spotted.
They hear it. Paranoia at the ready. Izu sending a pop flash. Trying to scale forward here with that stinger. Gets in along the box. A bit of damage on the Joggermo. Puts him down to 60.
Yep, this is wise. Don't like what you see there. That judge in hand. No great read on where Sylvan could have repositioned to. Let's try exploring mid a little bit. Leave.
Spot out.
Scrape of damage on the Meteor. And now out of the frying pan into the fire, potentially. Right around the corner there with the stinger is Izu. Stax gets a seize.
Looking to hold him at bay. The paint shell coming in on the back end. Joggermo just so damn low. Time now. Getting away from them. Spuzz looks to try to reinforce something to happen, but Leaf able to find one. Meteor swinging out. Cannot find that kill. Leaf down to 68. The pivot again, coming through. The judge! Knocking them down! 8 seconds remaining! And Sylvan arrives exactly when he is needed.
Oh, the patience there from Sylvan. Holding that B site the whole way. Just his presence was enough to scare off G2. They try to make their way through to A, but they lose a couple players there. And so they say, let's pivot to the other side. We know that's the weak side at this point. Let's make a go of it. But Sylvan is a step ahead. And me oh my. Couple more rounds. Is it gonna be 2 for one team or the other to send us to Pearl? Or is it gonna be 1 for each to send us to overtime? It is indeed split. And we do indeed only have bangers here. But you can see even Valen, not super frazzled, but certainly a little bit wary. This match has really started to drag on. There's such a hot start for G2 on map 1. A punch back on Haven, and then Abyss. It's just wild, no other way to put it. Now you're here on Split, and who knows what could happen. A couple more rounds to potentially seal the fate of one of these teams.
G2 do not want this to go to a map 5. This is a marathon. They'd like to just bring it to a conclusion right here, right now. Move that finish line forward rather than have it set back a couple more miles.
And look at the buy. This is how scrappy things have been. You know, you've been talking about it. They're back on, after winning 3 in a row, they're back onto an eco.
Stealth drone to try to check around. Nothing going to be spotted right now for the moment. High-low setup from Sylvan and Izu on the B side. Buzz rotating around into heaven. Noise absolutely cut.
Trying to set up a bit of a crossfire there with Izu. Meteor uses the pit on the other side of the map.
Statuesque not hearing anything. Meteor just wants to make sure that they can't try to go for a pivot.
Yep.
There's a check from Sylvan. Spotting out a couple players there in the garage. Gate crash set out, it's pinged. T1 hoping that he would go for it. Set up the clear.
Toxin screen down.
This would play into T1's hands. This is what they want. It's just can they execute?
Joggermo making some noise. Salvo's gonna be sent out. Buzz, that first contact coming through. Izu out here, wide, able to find one, but Trent, even in that range, the Stinger able to find him, but Sylvan comes up with 2, gets himself a 3rd. Meteor finds him. 12 to 11. T1, 1 round away from sending us to Pearl.
Right into T1's open arms. Using that pit nicely to deny any easy rotation. Forcing the hand of G2, and the crossfires are beautiful. Sylvan coming up monstrous again. He's got 23 kills on this map. Meteor with 25. The 2 controllers are keeping T1's hopes alive here in Bangkok. Can they get it done? Izu with the op. Oh, he misses it. Valen got him!
The shot is just off! What a shutdown from Valen. Absolutely huge, the changeup. This has not been bringing the operator into the fold this entire time. And now he's dead. The dimensional drift cannot come into play.
Oh my God. What a play from Valen.
when they need him the most.
He's had some big moments. Everybody on G2 has.
They're thinking about exploiting this space, but there's a gap in the smoke, and they capitalize. A 3v5 needed from T1 if they want to avoid this overtime and just cruise into Pearl. Right now, the reactions are not there. The sense is not there. Sylvan, alone on the site, starts off with one, but strafes back into the Armageddon. You can tell the wheels have come off. Strap in. This map is not over yet. We jump into overtime.
Of course we would. It's split. And this puts so much pressure on the T1 shoulders to try to avoid elimination, to try to keep themselves alive. G2 as well, but man, they read this round so well. But the smoke there just a little bit off from Sylvan. Maybe that's something, a bit of a mistake, and not sure, he just wasn't expecting that to be there. It's hard to say for sure, but that's backbreaking for T1. Of course, losing that early op as well. No ops in play, no glass cannons, all rifles for both teams. Stacks going on a bit of an explore towards B. Three-man push towards mid. These were some of the rounds that did end up going T1's way, is when they could successfully make their way through and be able to find those pivots towards the site of their choice.
Leave. Looking to try to stop this, but ends up falling. Jump down, Buzz. Gonna be traded out. Valorant able to come away with one, but they zone them away from the site for the moment. Paranoia sent. No one there to receive it. TP across. Gate crash set up from Mizu into backside, but he and Stacks both dangerously low.
Meteor.
Looking to be the one to try to stem the tide here. Swing onto the corner. He can't find either. Juggermo with a kill. Now the player advantage here for the side of G2. T1 trying to stay fanned out, but Izu going to be taken down off the rip. Stacks here at the default box, trying to hold the ground, as Sylvan has to try to keep them occupied from behind, and he cannot. Another 3K from Jaw as G2 get this up to series point. The trophy within their grasp.
One more round. They're able to find that big kill on the Buzz on the entry. And then Jaw just working his magic. So diligent, just checking every corner. And he's so accurate today. He can sense that trophy. And he's just chill. He's just having fun.
He's been here before. He's been on that champion stage. He has won that trophy.
It begins.
And one more pop-off round from the man himself. And he will add a Masters trophy to that collection.
Look at this, 26 kills on this map.
He's just been an absolute fiend. Trent creeping forward. Fake out. Get themselves pushed up. Meteor peeking out. Jonah P. Puts him a little bit lower, but Izu striking. Somehow gets a fadeaway headshot on into the enemy breach. A happy little accident perhaps here for T1. Something that they desperately need to extend this overtime.
Trying to get a read where the remaining players of G2 are. No other attention paid towards B. Now finally Izu gonna start sliding his way in. See if he can reinforce this A site. Buzz and Stacks.
Stacks repositioning, Buzz out into the open, instantly collected Leaf. Finding the headshot. Stacks similarly pushed out into the open, and Izu looking for timing, pushes up, cannot find Eddie, but Stacks comes away with two.
30 seconds
Gives his teammates an opportunity. A 1v2 from Valen. The fragging IGL, the captain, who has guided them to this very moment. Can he pull it off? The smoke dissipating. He's looking for their feet, and he just can't quite get it done. So very close. But for T1, A sigh of relief as they reset the OT.
It's just a little bit of a trap position there. Meteor trying to pull a bait and switch, and Izu makes the most of it, finds 2 huge kills. Stacks on sight, holding the line. Buzz gets caught in transition. Just not reading the map here very well. G2 almost punishes them for it. A nice one-way setup. Almost works a treat, but barely Meteor. Still some joy there in Stax' voice, despite how stressful this has been. Now back to this attacker's side. Again, T1 gonna spread the map a little bit. Stax over at B Garage, trying to get some attention over there. Some smokes being sent towards Mail. Try to keep players busy. Izu just gonna tuck in a corner for now. Everybody else wondering if there's maybe gonna be some kind of push out. Stealth drone out. Not gonna get any info. This might bait some rotation. Stack's gonna start throwing util. Izu as well on the move.
Yeah, Gate Crash is here. Jogamo just himself is here. Players' attention tied towards the side of the map. Trent tucking away, looking for a timing, pushing to the smoke, and Meteor able to snap in as Buzz dives in on top of Jonah P. The shorty for the elimination. Meteor checking around, trying to watch here below. Reads it well, takes out Leaf, peeks back into heaven. Some damage found. Jogamo down to 72. Sylvan just staying sat here quietly behind the screen. Eats a bit more ops to go for a reposition. Slide in from Valen. Last one left. Stacks out from main. Finds them both. Back into their hands. T1. Map point.
And it's an attacker's side win there for T1. The side where both teams were struggling on this map. Great play there from Buzz to get that shorty out. Jonah P was trying to find a timing to catch T1 off guard. He had snuck underneath their noses, he thought. Buzz was having none of it. And then we're gonna take the timeout. Oh boy, yeah. The stress starting to mount. Buzz can feel it, feel that pressure. Only 9 kills here for him on split. It's been a map to forget, for sure. But still, chance for redemption in the cards.
I think it just speaks to the efforts of the rest of his team.
Yes.
Meteor, Sylvan, Stacks in particular. So even with Buzz not being very present here on this map. Crying out loud. We had another reset here on that overtime. Could have another as the timeout will expire from G2. We'll see if it's enough to tie things up at 14-14. Stacks and Buzz were a part of the longest map we've ever had in overtime at a global. 1917 scoreline, DRX versus FPX. As far as I'm concerned, let's shatter the damn thing.
Why not? I'm all about it. This can go on for forever, and I've got nowhere better to be. Looks like a bit of a mid-crunch, potentially. Nope, just sending a couple players up towards Garage. There is that op again. It's going to be in the hands of Izu. He's further back, sitting in back sight, instead of trying to contest that angle. I think G2 was somewhat expecting it. Meteor again.
It's this position where he was able to
They're just
break
spamming it
open.
right away.
Yeah, the previous defender's round and get the reset.
Just know.
Gonna slowly drift across. Tucked in, fault line, not connecting. It's the fake out, the push, Jogamo dead. Stun in the aftershock to try to push him off the position. He's strafing across, damage hardly taken. Repeaks, goes for some spray. Does put one into the shoulder of Trent. Stealth drone pushing forward, but not gonna be seeing much of anything there.
Leaf.
On the back foot, and Buzz holds things down from ramp. Sylvan spots out the rest. Izu still here on the side, still with up in hand. Meteor finding him. Spike on the ground.
Down B.
2v4, fault line avoided. Izu catches a glimpse, gets a shot. As it's all on Valen. Taps the plant, the push of the smoke, and he goes down. 15-13. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. This series It is not over yet! Map 5! We go to Pearl!
Unbelievable! One more map to decide who will be the first Masters winner in 2025. Who is going to lift that trophy? Do not go anywhere!
Vamos, brother. Good job, guys. Good job. 섹시해. 그래. 고영석 그래. 그래. 예? 예? 미리오. 나이스. 나이스.